Celebrating 5 years covering the Universal Orlando Resort, you are listening to the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this 5th anniversary episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
Woo!
I am your host, Lee, and joining me, as she did 5 years ago in the kitchen on a Guitar Hero microphone, is my good lady wife, Tracy.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, Hunter, who joined us on episode 7.
I had a much deeper voice back then.
I think it was probably higher back then. You were about 12.
Hi, everybody.
And of
here to
course,
tell you about yours, huh?
the man, the myth, Mr. Darren Schmidt,
Oh, what's up, Internet?
who joined us on...
Literally by accident.
Yes, and actually, I could have said that I didn't realise. I thought that the show was me and Tracy for a lot longer than it actually was.
It just felt it, do you?
Because Hunter joined us in like 7. I think Darren joined in like 15 or 16, so it wasn't long at all. It felt like it was a lot more.
Have we ever unveiled how you and I met, Lee?
What, on
Have we
the
ever
Diz
told the
boards?
general audience?
I think so.
We've met on the Diz boards.
Yeah.
As far as that sounds.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
5 years ago,
It's flown
this
by.
week, Tracy and I sat in the kitchen using a Guitar Hero microphone to record the first ever episode of the 100% Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
And we sounded wooden as hell.
It's still in the feed. Go and listen. It is horrendous. Don't judge.
No, and don't laugh too much.
It is awful.
It is.
Like, I
I was
remember...
terrified.
I remember playing it back for the kids and Jade going, "Why are you talking like that?" I was like, "What do you
That's
mean?"
what you want to hear.
Hello, I'm Lee,
It was if you...
and this is Tracy.
The thing is, that first episode wasn't scripted and it sounds like it was.
Awful.
It's like, "Hello everyone and welcome to the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. My name is Lee."
And this is NPR's podcast.
It's awful. It took a long time for it to get much, much better.
Just to relax into it.
So let's
Grief.
run down what's happened in the last 5 years.
Lots.
Well, Universal Studios Hollywood's annual passes are now $600, and that gets you parking.
Well,
Whee!
You guys enjoy it.
we've had, what have we had? Despicable Me, Transformers, Diagon Alley,
Yeah.
Springfield.
Hogwarts Express.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, City Walk's kind of a big deal.
Yep. Hello Kitty.
We finally saw the closure of NBA City.
Yep. And we're getting
That was rumored since like episode 5.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Well, it's not
More or
Willy
less.
Wonka.
And then let's go through Islands of
Hotel.
Adventure. Spider-Man's had an upgrade.
Yep. Hulk's got most of an
Yeah.
upgrade. They didn't quite make it in.
It's quite bad though when you think about it, isn't it? When you talk about all the stuff that's new, it's all City Walk or
Island.
Universal. It's not open yet though, is it?
It's coming soon. Very soon. You know, we've got
Hopefully, yeah,
hotels.
that's phase 3.
Mini golf.
Well, hey, we've got
City
new
Walk?
Kong merchandise in the parks.
Yeah.
We've gotten Kong merchandise back in the parks. Maybe I should say.
Darren met the
Yes.
love of his life.
Oh,
Yes.
Aww.
That's right.
Nina will be listening. Darren, be careful.
Hey now.
We've met lots of our listeners and made some really great friendships.
Yes.
And other people have made friendships through us.
That has, yeah. And
Let's hope
You guys
eating
have
far too
made
much
some.
food.
You guys have made some wonderful donations that we've been able to give
Yes,
to give kids the world.
That'll be happening
Yes.
again this year. If you want to join the Producers Club, we will be putting some of that donation towards Give Kids the World. We've had some.
To me, that's one of our biggest accomplishments.
It is.
Yeah, we've had some awesome guests on the show.
we have.
As a proper Universal geeky fanboy, we have had some awesome guests on the show.
You've been very nervous beforehand, haven't
I'm
you, dear?
always nervous when we have a guest on. It doesn't matter who it is, but yes, there's been times
Mike
where
Aiello.
I needed
Oh, you should have seen him.
a sick bucket next to me.
Michael Roddy.
Yeah,
You should
Yeah.
tell,
that was the worst one.
You should tell the story real quick because I don't think Darren was on this one. Tell the story real quick about when we had Jim Hill on for the first time. I thought my microphone was
that
muted.
one. So Hunter thought he'd turned his microphone. So Hunter went deathly silent because he was just like, "Oh my god, it's Jim Hill we're talking to." Now, for anyone who doesn't know Jim. For anyone who doesn't know who Jim Hill is because we do have listeners who don't know who he is. He is, as far as the theme park world goes, he is the rumour man himself.
Yes.
So Hunter was quite in awe, but thought he'd turned his microphone off. Tracy and I, halfway through, heard him sit back in his chair, and then
We were.
and he looked at each other, going, "What is he doing?"
Yep. Horrified glances.
I thought it was a more of a smooth squeak, like a.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was a proper settled into position squeak.
Yeah.
But yes, we have had some awesome guests, and today is going to be no exception.
Very excited.
The guest we are welcoming onto the show today, you will have heard his work, I have no doubt.
Uh-huh.
He has created a lot of the music you will hear in Marvel Superhero Island in Islands of Adventure, and that is composer Mr. Howard Drossin.
Mm-hmm.
So shall we get him on?
On top of that, a ton of film and video game work as well. So.
With a RZA. Howard, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. We really appreciate you coming on and to talk about the music you've created. It's awesome. So for those people listening, and I'm sure there's quite a few people who probably don't know who you are, what's your background? How did you become a music composer?
Well, there's a short story and a long story. I'll just kind of sum it up for you. I was involved with music throughout my childhood, and as I got a bit older, I gravitated from playing the piano and the cello and took up the guitar and played in bands and got into making records and things like that. But where I first got started professionally was in the game industry.
Okay.
And I started doing music for video games sometime in the early 90s. And I ended up becoming music director for Sega for 4 years up in Redwood Shores near San Francisco. So that's how I started professionally, and just it all began there. And I slowly kind of gravitated my way into working on other different types of projects, from theme parks to some installations that required music, and eventually into film work.
Because you've done some pretty big films, actually.
Yes, I've worked on a lot of films, and that's kind of really originally why I started this whole thing as a composer. I wanted to work on films, but as things turned out, it didn't happen that way straight away. It took a while for me to actually get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we were talking off air a little bit that you have a passion for music, because you were telling us a story before we started about going to Disneyland, and we sort of said that one of the things we talk about on the show is that music in theme parks is one of those things I think that the general public generally don't sort of notice, but if you took it away, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much like film. If you took the music away, people would notice it, and as composers, that's what we try and do. We try and we want the music to have an effect, whether in a film or in a theme park. And when I was a kid and I went to Disneyland, the music affected me strongly. I noticed it, and I remember wanting to stand in a corner or not leave a certain area of a ride just so I could keep hearing the music, say in the Haunted House or the Pirates of the Caribbean. I love that stuff to this day. It's just brilliant, brilliant music. And I don't even know who composed it, to be quite honest with you. But I don't think I ever looked it up. But it's just amazing, and it really made that whole experience, at least for me, it just made it.
Go on, Hunter. You must know a lot of the composers for the Disney stuff. Sherman Brothers.
Actually, not really. I mean, I know a lot of the songwriters. Like, obviously, there's like Ex Atencio and Buddy Baker and people like that.
Right.
The Sherman Brothers had done a lot of it, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but that's all more on the songwriting end. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with like who does the theme park land like loops. Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, whoever did it a long time ago when they installed those old rides, that was great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's proof to it that you can go into the parks now and hear that same music still playing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's iconic. It's an iconic part of the experience of going to those parks.
Absolutely,
so,
it is.
Yep, and also, of course, with your music and Marvel Superhero Island, I personally don't feel like I'm walking into that land without hearing that. And there have been a couple of times where they've been having a malfunction or something like that, and it doesn't play, and you're like, there's definitely something wrong here.
That was weird, because I'll equate it to, like, with the Hulk being down this year, it's that roar not being there when you walk in and you don't hear the roar of the Hulk coaster. It's like, something missing here.
It loses part of its soul.
Yeah.
That's what it is. When you don't have that music playing. Because it's the music that gets your adrenaline going as well. You look around. You know,
it's really cool to hear that. You know, I haven't actually had the opportunity to go to the park since it was finished.
Which is
weird.
When
I was there, they brought me out there while I was working on the music, and it was just kind of a construction site. Mm-hmm. The areas that I was working on music for. So I have still not been there and actually heard it. I'd love to go. I have kids now, so maybe one day I'll be able to get them out there, find some time to get them out there. And if that stuff is still playing, I'd love to hear how it comes off.
It'll be weird walking into a theme park, hearing music. Oh, yeah, I made that 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it 17 years ago already?
Yeah, the park opened 17 years ago this year. It's crazy.
Wow.
I think it was longer than that ago. Is that correct English?
It'll do. Was it 99?
Yeah, it opened 99, didn't it?
Yeah, it's North Hollywood English.
Yes. But yeah, because obviously you'd have been working on the music a lot long before. See, I'm not even talking English now.
Yeah, exactly. That influence on it.
Just go with it.
A lot longer ago than when the park opened.
Yes.
So one thing that stuck out to me real quick, Howard, is you do have a background in video game music, like you said, with Sega. And I think I've always heard a bit of an element of that kind of video game style music in your Superhero Island pieces, particularly like Banner Science Park. I was just wondering if you drew any inspiration from like Sonic the Hedgehog or anything like that you would have worked on previous.
No, to be honest with you, I don't think I would have thought or did think of any of that stuff. You know, the Sonic stuff was very particular to a certain type of style that had a certain aesthetic to it. And to be quite honest, when I first started working on that kind of stuff, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But as I worked with it longer and longer, I found a way to make it really cool for myself. But the theme park stuff was that was after the whole Sonic world, and that wasn't something that I was looking to continue anywhere else.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just like a style or something that you're sensing from one to the other. I don't know.
I think it's just more of kind of like a major chord rock vibe that you get. It's just a very energetic, and it gets you excited to get into that land, like you're going to do something adventurous.
Yes.
Like that tends to be an ongoing theme in any of the Superhero Island tracks.
Yeah.
Well, I think, that's good to hear. I mean, I certainly had that in mind, but I think what I was most sensitive to with those tracks, because I was aware that they were going to be looping all day, is I would actually think about the poor people that had to work at this place.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again. And I thought to myself, I can't tell you how much I thought about these people, because I thought these people are just going to hate me and hate my music after working there. And I just tried to not be repetitive as much as possible and tried to make it interesting. I could probably say that I thought about those people more than anything else in this project.
It's funny
because my recollection was just having this horrifying thought of someone coming after me who worked there.
As a former cast member who worked in Disney's Magic Kingdom, particularly in Frontierland, I have the sound of banjos permanently ingrained in my mind. So I appreciate you doing that for us.
That's because you're from the South, Hunter.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Because when I work on something, my experience with it is much shorter, but when we work on music, we hear it a lot while we're composing it, while we're producing it, while we're mixing it. Yeah. And by the end of it, we're just sick to death of it. We don't want to hear it. Yeah, I can certainly imagine putting in an 8-hour shift every day in some place where they're just playing looping music it would make me crazy.
Well, I always think to the Men in Black attraction at Universal Studios Florida that they play Will Smith's Men in Black the soundtrack song over and over and over and over again, and you just think you must just want to bang your head against the wall.
Exactly.
And all the employees who work there have very dead eyes.
Yeah.
No, so that's something that was on my mind a lot. But like I said, probably more than anything, and it was the repetition of the whole thing and how that would. And how I could just at least, and that was something that was also on my mind when I worked on video games, which maybe helped prepare me for working on this kind of stuff, because video game music would also loop too, and it was one of those things where, I always strove to try and write music that people wouldn't just automatically want to go to options and turn it off, but would also enhance the experience, without drawing too much attention to itself.
Right.
It's difficult to think how you can make a 3.5 minute piece of music not end up being repetitive when you've listened to it for 3 hours or longer.
Well, it's really difficult to do that, and I think it's I think even Beethoven's Fifth Symphony would get repetitive after.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to hear it 8 hours a day every day, but all I could do was just do the best I can and try and a lot of the music there, with the exception of the Dr. Doom stuff. The alleyway music, a lot of it was repetitive in nature, rock songs, techno songs, and stuff like that. So, that even made it more difficult in a sense that, you have music that's repetitive in nature with no vocals on top of it. It's all instrumental. Right. So I think, every time something came around for a second time, I would try and do something a little different with it. Mm-hmm. And not just cut and paste.
Yeah. That definitely works there. It's got kind of a brightness to it. The music, especially like Hunter was talking about, the Banner Science Park, which is my personal favorite out of the music in that area. There, it's got that it's kind of like a sparkle, I would say, like at the top. It's kind of hard to describe when we actually listen to it, but it's and I thought that's what he was going with as far as the video game goes, because it's got kind of like a sprite sounding like a sparkle that happens over everything else. I think that's part of what makes it so easy to listen to over and over again.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's it would be very interesting for me after all these years to come there and hear how it's coming across through the speakers, because I'm always interested in that. How is this coming across? And I did think about this. How are they going to set this up? How is this going to be played? Because I know in theme parks, they hide the speakers. And you're not hearing something really in stereo. You're hearing mono speakers, hidden behind, like different things or what do you call them? Buildings or lampposts. I don't know where they hide that stuff. In the bushes.
Yeah, all over.
That's a good point. Actually, I've never considered that.
No, I hadn't.
It is, and that actually jogs my memory a little bit. I remember that we actually is in addition to stereo mixes, we did mono mixes for that very purpose, and that I was told that a lot of the stuff would be playing in mono, though I didn't know which or where or how it would be played or what kind of speakers it would be played. So we're mixing this stuff not really knowing how it's going to be played. Are they going to be played through little miniature speakers that have no bass? I don't know. So I didn't really have much of that information at the time, but I did know that a lot of these things are played back in mono, and because there's no way for people walking through a vendor area or whatever there's music playing to experience stereo. So they would these speakers would be hidden behind certain various objects. So, it would be very interesting for me to hear how it comes across. Now you're making me want to go to Florida.
Yeah, do it. Universal cares a lot about the sound. So, I think everybody else here will attest to that as well. Lee will well up anytime he walks into the park. So it's that soundtrack, that audio going through that makes him do that. So
yeah.
It is. It's one of those things. Like I said, we've talked about on this show quite a lot. That I think the average person going in probably doesn't notice it, but because we go as much as we do, and because we love the parks as much as we do, you focus on the different aspects of it that, like I say, the general public don't notice on. And having, like, speaking to you now, Howard, and having spoken to William Kidd, to see the effort and what's gone into it behind the scenes just enhances that even more.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, I actually think I've spoken to William one time or another. I know that his production process was very different than mine on this. I think he had a bigger budget than I did. Because it's my understanding that he used real orchestra.
Yes. Orchestra,
and I did not have real orchestra. So I actually made all of that orchestra and everything myself in my studio.
Wow.
And that was a long time ago. That was a tall order back then, because there weren't, there wasn't the access to just incredible sample libraries like we have now. There were some good ones, but not like we have now. So it was difficult. It was very tedious to make that stuff sound real.
Changing track a little bit here. How did you come to be asked by Universal Orlando to create music for the island? Like, how did that process happen there?
Well, I was introduced to John Rust, who was in charge of the production of the audio and the music for the theme park. I was introduced to him by a sound designer colleague of mine, and he had worked with John on theme park stuff in the past. And this whole Universal Studios Islands of Adventure project was in the future at that time, and he was going to work on the sound design for it. And he introduced me to John as someone that could work on the music as well. So John listened to some of the stuff that I had done to date, and first hired me to do the Doctor Doom music, to write a theme for Doctor Doom, and to do what is known to me, I've never seen it, but I called it the alleyway or the walkway. So that was an area, I guess, where you walk through somewhere where you hear orchestra.
It's a perfect description, actually. Like, you walk, right. It's because the ride is set far back on a path there, and that's exactly what it is, an alleyway back there. So
okay, sure. So I'd heard that there's that, and there's an arcade, and so he contracted me to write a theme for Doctor Doom and to write this kind of ambient orchestral music, to write 20 minutes of it. So I chose to do it in 4 separate 5-minute pieces of music. Well, they ended up being a little over 5 minutes, but it was challenging in that John didn't want the music to ever really get big, and I so desperately wanted it to get big. So, because if you listen to that music, it's always kind of orchestrally smoldering, and it's like an ambient and everything, and I would have, kind of slight crescendos, and I just desperately wanted to get big, but I never really could, because John would say, this is too big. So then I'd have to tone it down. But I got away with a few things, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the challenge with that music. But that's kind of how it all started. I did all of that orchestral music for the Doctor Doom thing, and then the next thing he hired me for was the Marvel Main Street, the superhero Main Street. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I apologize. Yeah. I don't know the exact name.
Yes.
But, oh yeah.
Yeah, he hired me to do that. I think at some point I told him I was a guitar player and I played in rock and roll bands, and he said, "Can you do this?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." So he hired me to do that stuff, and that was just a load of fun. And I actually got my old bandmate involved to work with me on it, to play on it, and help me out. And we went in the studio, and we actually recorded the guitars and the bass live. I got my old bass player in there to record live bass, but the drums are actually not real. I programmed those drums myself.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but the guitars and the bass are all live and recorded through amps. And gosh, that was a lot of fun working on that project. And then after that, I think He hired me to do, he asked me if I could do techno. And I said, sure. Why not? And it was, he hired me to do the Hulk Science Park, Hulk Banner Science Park area.
Yeah.
So then I started to work on that. And then he hired me after that to do kind of toned down versions of both. So there was a toned down kind of acoustic version of Superhero Main Street. And then there was kind of a toned down version of the Hulk Science Park techno stuff, where it was just not as aggressive and kind of unplugged, if you will, versions of both.
Cool.
And gosh, I wish I had copies of this stuff. I don't know where all it is.
It's something to find out. I think it is a shame that stuff like that, that gets sort of lost in. I think it's the problem back in those days where the internet wasn't really that big. It's like everything's archived now, and back in them days, it kind of wasn't.
Well, there was no cloud or anything.
Yeah.
So what we did, and having a 9 gig drive, 9 gig. I remember when I got my first 9 gigabyte drive, it was unbelievable. And it cost me $1,600.
Wow!
Holy cow!
And it was a 9 gig drive, and I was just amazed how much I could store on it.
Yeah.
But I think with this kind of stuff, I archived it on CD or burned it to a CD, and I probably have it somewhere on an audio CD, but I just have no idea where. Because typically I wouldn't archive that stuff on a hard drive. That was still like, in the days where, you burn it to a CD, right?
Yeah.
That'll last forever.
Yeah.
And just, okay, that's my project. Boom, it's on CD. Gosh, I even remember I was using ADATs to record that stuff. Which was a digital recording tape deck that utilized Super VHS tapes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kids today don't even know they're born.
Oh, yeah.
I remember buying our first memory card for our camera, and it was 128 megabytes, and it cost me like $50.
Well, my first computer cost $2,000, and it had 48K.
Wow. Wow.
So when you were starting work on these songs, did Universal provide you with like any concept artwork, or did you get your inspiration from like watching cartoons or reading the comics, or where did you draw inspiration from?
They actually gave me some sketched out visuals. I remember seeing printed out kind of sketched out scenes of these areas and some of the characters. And that's about all that I got. And whatever creative direction I got from John Rust. That was about it. And John would just give this stuff to me and say, go do your thing. And I would make some demos and send it to John and ask him what he thought. And I think the toughest thing to come up with was the Doctor Doom theme, because I went through a lot of iterations of different things before I got that. But everything else, I think I nailed the first time.
Nice.
It was pretty easy actually.
Okay.
That's
So?
good.
There wasn't a whole lot, like I said, except for the materials that they gave me, which just consisted mainly of sketches.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be so difficult.
It's really difficult, but it's not difficult from where I come from, because it's kind of how I worked on video game music a lot too. A lot of that music I started working on before the game was even really running. So I'd have to use my imagination and picture kind of a certain tempo or vibe that I'd want to create for a certain world or a level. And they used to give me sketches too, of what this world would look like, that the characters were going to be in, for instance. So it wasn't unlike experiences that I'd had before.
Right.
So, to be quite honest with you, it's just, it is difficult, but you just have to go with something and put it out there, you know. And I've been lucky in my career that I've managed to kind of, you know, without too many iterations of things, I've managed to be able to get the job done, at least so far, knock on wood.
It's just so bizarre to think that you've created music for an area that you've never seen.
True, but, you know, it's not really such a stretch for me because it's kind of what I always practiced doing, you know, was making music for a certain vibe. That's what I felt like I was trained to do. So if someone comes to me and says, you know, Dr. Doom Alleyway needs to be ominous and scary, but never have like a big crescendo, but we need to have this vibe of, you know, some imminent danger. So that's really enough for me to go on. I don't really need to see smoke machines and what color it's going to be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it gets a bit more difficult when you have certain timing that needs to be involved in things. Then you need to be more precise or maybe see how things are going to happen. But with straight up background music, at least I didn't need a lot for this, you know. But, you know, you always are, to a certain extent, as a composer, throwing darts at a board a little bit, really, because it's your taste.
Yeah.
And, you know, versus the people that are hiring you and what they imagine to be the right music for their project. So, you know, you're always kind of guessing. So, and second guessing yourself. So, but even by that point, I'd gotten used to putting stuff out there and seeing what people think, you know. And I think that if you do good work and it matches the specifications that people are looking for, at least, you know, they'll either like it or give you another chance to make it right.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's true. I've got to say though, I couldn't imagine different music in those areas.
No.
In any of the areas. It'd be so weird, I think. Now, a little earlier, you mentioned that Universal had flown you out for preparation. Can I ask how far along the park was when you visited? Just out of interest.
Oh, gosh. I remember going to the park, and there was obviously Universal Studios was there already.
Yeah.
Because they actually took us over there too and let us go on some rides. And but the Islands of Adventure really just looked like a construction site. Right. I do remember seeing some of the Hulk roller coaster starting to be built. I remember seeing this, you know, this green like roller coaster tracks or whatever laying around. But there was a lot of dirt and wood, just like big ditches and cranes and crap, you know, laying around.
You got to have the experience a lot of Islands of Adventure fans would have loved to have had.
Yeah, I mean, but there really wasn't much to look at,
to
be quite honest with you. And I remember thinking, like, why did they send me out here? But for me, it was cool. I just got a free trip to Florida and got to go. What was the coolest for me is we got to go over to like the main Universal Studios, and we got to cut in line from everything. John Rust had this like VIP thing, so he would just say, "What do you want to go on?" You know, and the park was crowded.
Wow.
And we'd say, "Oh, we want to go on here," like some burning hotel or whatever it was. I can't even remember. And, we just got to go on whatever we wanted.
Awesome.
And that was kind of the most memorable part of it for me. I remember looking around the actual Islands of Adventure, and again, it just looked like construction. There wasn't really much to look at. So that's why I have no idea in my mind what it looks like there. I absolutely have no idea.
So you really do need to go back.
Absolutely.
I do need to go back.
Yes.
I absolutely. I haven't checked how much ticket prices are, but
yeah,
it's a lot cheaper from there than it is from us from here. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we shall take a quick break. So we can all go for a wee and a cup of tea, and we'll be back soon with some more.
Ladies and gentlemen, The 8th wonder of the world is returning to Universal Orlando Resort. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel take care of the resort reservation. They are a Universal Parks and Resorts specialist, as well as being an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the awesome Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando vacation needs, so you don't need to miss the chance to see the amazing King Kong in the flesh. And please make sure to let them know that you heard about Fairy Godmother Travel because of UUOP. Because every UUOP referral helps us to continue to bring you the greatest Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone at 832-284-4002 or toll free at 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com.
Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Welcome back, and we're now going to listen to some of the music Howard created, which I'm very excited about.
Yes.
And hopefully he'll tell us about the composition and influences of each piece.
This should be interesting.
Yes. Now, the first up is at Marvel Superhero Island, Main Street.
I bet everyone was dancing to that.
I'd just like to say, Howard, if you ever need an air drummer, Lee was awesome then.
That's a bit when I'm listening to it in the car, I'm always drumming along with that, and then you tell me that it wasn't real drums. It's like, oh.
That's even more
It's not
impressive.
real drums. No, I'm sad to inform you.
It's a very almost
like we've had a real drummer on it, but we just didn't really have the budget
Yeah.
for that kind of thing. And drummers can tend to have an attitude anyway, so I
Right.
just admitted it.
Possibly the wisest decision then.
Right. But we recorded the guitars and the bass in the studio, and I recall working on that Super Island mainstream stuff, the rock stuff. I remember wanting to add some synthesizer stuff to it as well, to give it more of like a, I don't know, comic book feel, which I hope that came across, but in some of the stuff.
Yeah.
I think
I
so,
would say
yeah.
it's interesting that even this far down the line that it still holds up as a good piece of music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
certainly one of my
always
favourites.
the intent.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, I just really felt for the people that work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's an
Definitely.
upbeat piece of music for them to hear, though.
Well, that's the thing, because
You know.
that's the music that you hear like walking down Marvel Superhero Island. So it is that it's getting you excited to get into that area of the
Yes.
park and get the adrenaline
Just
going.
gets
Obviously,
you
when
pumped.
you come off the Hulk and your adrenaline's flowing and that music's going, it all adds together to make just an exciting area.
Definitely.
Wow, I really do need to go there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excited about. So that one you just played, that you hear that when you're walking in?
Yes, and pretty much all the way. Darren Hunter, you've been there more recent than us. That's pretty much the full length of Marvel Island, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the I would call it the theme song of the Superhero Island. Like that's what you hear most of the time.
Okay.
And then they've got kind of like alcoves in different areas, like right around the Hulk, where you'll hear Banner Science Park and the alleyway, like you said, where you've got Doctor Doom playing. So
Right.
I do think it's interesting that you originally wanted to add synthesizers to it, because I always got more of kind of a Ramones-y power chord feel from it, and I think the synthesizer would have been interesting to add that on top of there.
Well, there's a few of them that I can recall that I put little synthesizer touches on. And it has this kind of synthesizer thing on top of it. And I think another one, I did something, like a lead thing with a guitar and double it with a synthesizer. For me, at the time, it just sounded like it made it more comic booky sounding. So
Gotcha.
to add synths to it.
That would have been interesting to hear, actually.
Yeah. So I know I did a number of heavy rock tracks for that area. Are they just playing that one track you played, or do they play the other ones?
It depends on the section of the park or on the land that you're in.
Right. Got you.
So as you get closer to the Hulk, obviously Banner Science is going to be playing, and Doom's going to be playing near Doom. But the funny thing is, I definitely feel you took a note from the Disney composers, like we were talking about earlier, because none of it ever seems to clash. It all kind of melds into...
That is a good point.
Yes.
Yeah, it never, okay, now I'm here and now I'm in the other. It's a slow transition into one from the other, even though they're very different stylistically.
It'd actually be quite interesting to walk around Marvel's Superhero Island, now you said that, Howard, and sort of try and pick out all the different tracks and see how many there actually is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the comic book shop probably uses some of it for background audio as well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking of it, and the arcade, like you said, I think they probably use a lot of that for that. And then the Fantastic Four restaurant, those areas as well. They've got music playing constantly. So.
Yeah, there's the Captain America diner as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them telling me that the toned down versions were for the for people where people would eat because they didn't want them to, want the music too heavy in there and
like rocking out and throwing food across the.
But how smoothly it transitions from each other. I would probably, a lot of credit would probably go to the people that just designed the speaker system and how they set it up and everything, because it was, I think that the superhero stuff was all designed as kind of rock songs that would all maybe go on an album together, but the Banner Science Park stuff was really a different project, and the Doom stuff. But then again, it all came from me, so I guess maybe that is somehow helps it smoothly link together. I don't know, but they were very different mindsets, project-wise. But it's cool to hear that they set it up in such a way that it smoothly transitions, because that's obviously you want that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, speaking of transitions, we're going to transition on into the Dr. Doom piece.
That's very comic booky, that bit.
It is.
Yeah.
I love that. It makes me puff my chest up, that one. I kind of equate it to Darth Vader's march. It's quite powerful.
Yeah.
It's got that.
The Imperial March.
Yes, it's got that sort of feel, but more comic booky.
See, I kind of get a vibe of that mixed with like the Sorcerer's Apprentice music.
Ah.
Well, I mean that for me right there, gosh, that really takes me back. That's obviously, for me, very John Williams influence. Listening to it right now, as I was orchestrally back then, I'm kind of very different now orchestrally than I was then. But then I was very, very influenced by John Williams, who to this day I just have the greatest respect for. And
how can you not?
Exactly. So I think that's probably the sole influence for me where I was going to take this music was in a Williams-esque kind of style and do a comic booky thing with it. So that's really in a nutshell where I was coming from. I remember writing the theme, working on the theme, and this is really the only one where I went back and forth with John Rust several times on. There were several iterations of this theme. And this was the very first thing I did when he hired me. The first thing I did was write a theme for Dr. Doom, straight out of the gate. And it took a little while to finally get to the finished product.
Right.
I had something that was a little bit more motif-like, and he wanted something longer. He wanted more of a longer theme that was more of kind of a song form, that had a first announcement, an A B section, and so on and so forth. So that's what it ended up developing into. And in hindsight, John was right. he was smart to push me in that direction, because that yielded a better theme out of it.
Yeah. And it's perfect for that area too, because as you walk in, it's like a very industrial kind of alleyway.
Yeah.
You've got like Venom's head on the top of like spires. Well, like they would have like an accent on an old building, like that kind of thing. And as you get closer to it, the ride itself is Doctor Doom's Fearfall, which is a drop tower kind of ride where it shoots you up and then plummets you back down. And which is that's something you got to see, because they've got these gnarly, like really sharp accents on the top of them, and as you walk towards it, the bigger it gets, perspective wise. So it's great to have this kind of a march going into it, as you're getting closer and closer to this thing. It's really neat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to look at this ride in a whole different light now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's when, listening to that, the first thing that came to mind was, I wish I had real orchestra to record it. That one again, I just had to, I had to use the tools of the day to simulate the orchestra.
It's a lobby to get all this stuff redone.
It's amazing to me that it's still being played. It's fantastic.
I think that's just testament to how good it is.
I was just going to say exactly the same.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, but I think there would be uproar and riots if they switched the music out.
Oh, agreed.
Because for me, all of this music is part of coming home.
But then I think if you look at it, a lot of the stuff that William Kidd did for Port of Entry isn't played the same way that it used to be.
No.
Oh, really? They changed it?
Yeah, because he explained to us that. I feel like I go over this every time we talk about Port of Entry, but it's about half a dozen separate pieces of music that go up. Port of Entry is like the alleyway into the park, like that main thoroughfare where it opens out into the lagoon, and it's supposed to be 6 or 7 different pieces of music, but they were all composed to, if you stood on the cusp of 2 tracks of music, they sounded like one piece rather than 2 separate pieces. So it all blended together. If you sort of strolled at a fast pace up Port of Entry, it would sound like one piece of music, because if you put all 6 tracks together, it would sound like one cohesive piece of music.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to do that. I just have to kind of do more basic stuff.
Yeah.
So.
That's the music that Darren referenced earlier, that I step anywhere near the entrance to that park and I fill up. It's just such an emotional piece of music.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, you say it's testament to yours that it is still played in its sort of
original state.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now I'm definitely going to be listening harder in the cafeterias and that kind of thing, and in hearing that music. Because as soon as you mentioned it, I think I can remember it, but now I definitely have to go back and check it out again.
I'm remembering more of it as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's nothing like reminiscing.
Like I said, I have to. I wish I knew where it was. But anyway, moving on.
All right, yeah. The last clip we have here is called Banner Science Park. There's that sparkle I was talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, now you've said that.
Electronic little beat at the end too. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. It's just so beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember this is one that there was a sound designer, the same sound designer friend of mine at the time, who introduced me to John. I hired him to add make some electronic-y sounds to put on, because John wanted it to have some of that essence, like computers or things going on in the background. So, I listening to that, I remember how the production on that was a little more involved, in that we were, there was obviously this piece of music, or 4 pieces of techno music as it was, and we added kind of these computer sounds to them to give it some of that kind of science lab feel to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, you see like beakers with like little bubbles coming out of it,
Right.
like comic book style. Definitely.
Exactly. That's what it was for.
It
That's what
works
was for.
so well.
It comes off that way.
Yeah, it's got that adrenaline
I was going to say
pumping bass going on that's really, again, going to get you excited to ride the Hulk. And then when you've come off it again, like you are in the others, just buzzing coming off it. And that music, again, is going to keep
And you
that going.
And I find that I fall in step with the beat of that.
Yeah.
Because I've got to say, in that whole area, that is my favourite piece of music. I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh, okay.
And I may have almost blown the car speakers because I really like a good bass line, and that one is, I make, don't listen, Lee, I make the wing mirrors vibrate on
I've
the car
done
with
that
that one. Lee's
Oh,
not
excellent.
listening,
Well, I'm
it's all right.
glad you like it. Glad you like
I
it.
love that one.
But it's all like those three pieces of music there, it does scream comic book, but it just, it says exactly what you want to say about that area of the park.
It's iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Wow, it's so fabulous to hear that it's coming off that way to you guys, because it's really what we were trying to do. When we started out with John, was put that across, and that makes me feel really good. At least that you guys are telling me it all comes across that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we're getting it. That's how we're getting it how it should be done as well. I'm pleased about that too.
Well, this was the reason of getting you on the show, Howard, and when we've had Bill on, is to bring this stuff that, like I said before, the average person visiting the theme park probably doesn't notice, to give it the focus and the attention that it deserves, because it is a huge part of those theme parks.
It'll broaden their horizons, enhance their experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm all for that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you took it away, like you said, it would be
weird.
The place would be dead.
Yeah. It would feel very, very strange.
It'd be flat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it was like I said, it was great fun to work on it, and I had heard that they were opening another park in Japan or something like that. And do you guys know if they did that? And they were gonna. I remember John was talking about it, and they were going to use this music over there, or I don't know if that ever happened or not.
Well, they do have a park open in Japan. Do they have any? They don't have any of the Marvel. I don't think they got the Marvel license over there.
No,
right?
where's Spider-Man? Is that in Japan or Singapore?
Ooh.
I think it's in Japan. I think the Spider-Man attraction's in Japan.
Yeah, I'm looking up real quick.
Yeah, because I remember talking to John about it, because I wanted more work at the time. I said, hey, because he was saying, oh, I'm going off to work on this park over there. And I said, well, if you need any more music, let me know. And I remember him saying that, well, if we were going to use it, we were going to use what we had. Mm-hmm. So
trip to Japan would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I would much preferred that.
Yeah.
They do have a Spider-Man, but it's like a standalone thing they got over there. So they might play it outside, out front of that, but
maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, we have yet to be there.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we will.
If you ever make it over there, please let me know.
We will.
Yeah. I think we need some GoFundMe's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Have the Get Howard to Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
Yes. And Japan.
Fun. Yes.
And all of us to Japan.
Yes, I do need to get. I need to get out there at some point. It's not going to be for a while. My wife and I are expecting our third child.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we're not going to be going anywhere. For
No.
a while. But
we're gonna have to do a walkthrough video for you or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
At least
a
you
great
can get a little
idea.
idea for it.
that
Put
would
it
be
up and send
really
it
cool.
That would be
Yeah, we'll
awesome.
pop it up on YouTube and send it to you.
What a great idea.
And it might actually be something that would impress my two boys, because they're not really impressed by anything I do.
I think that's just
And I
kids,
try and
though.
tell them, hey man, I'm cool. Trust me.
Especially with how big,
Dr. Doom's theme music. Come
yeah,
on.
especially how big Marvel is now.
Park, the video game stuff, they don't care. The movie stuff, they don't care. Rock band stuff, they don't care. But
Kids
maybe the
today.
theme park stuff will impress them.
I would say
My
so.
music goes with a roller coaster. How about that?
Yeah.
And they would actually listen to me.
Yeah.
If you ever need to intimidate them, just play Doctor Doom's theme as you're walking into their room.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, actually, that would never intimidate my young son. He's just—I don't think anything intimidates him.
Right.
We have a daughter like that.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
A natural-born rebel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yep.
actively
At
encouraged.
11 years old, she went to Halloween Horror Nights, so there you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
And rocked it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. My wife went there once and almost had a heart attack.
Our,
Yeah, no, she was giving the scare actors high five.
She was.
our 16-year-old boy was more nervous than she was.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I was
I
proud.
was more nervous than your 16-year-old boy.
I'm going to say I was very proud at the moment when the wolf man squatted in front of us, so she patted him on the
Yes.
head like a dog.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like, oh.
Now, are these Halloween nights in Florida you're talking about?
Yes.
They do it in Hollywood as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, my wife's been to it here.
Oh.
She went with a friend and got the light scared out of her. She didn't know what to expect.
Right.
A friend of hers said, hey, do you want to
yeah.
go with me to do this thing? And she was like, all right. And she had an extra ticket. So she went, and she just came back. She nearly peed her pants.
Okay. Definitely got to check it out. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been great talking to you guys.
It's been awesome.
It has. I've really enjoyed it. The time has gone so fast.
It has gone really fast. You know, it's been fun talking about this stuff. And I was telling Lee that I have to have this stuff on some CD somewhere. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Because I'd be interested in it's really making me now want to hear it myself and remember, you know, what we did. You know what? I just thought of it. In those days, we used to mix to DAT tape.
Right.
And it would be on an old DAT tape.
Ooh.
It would be on, I still have a DAT machine. So
Wow.
there is possibly a way that I could get them. But we would have actually mixed it to a DAT tape and would have delivered it that way. Okay, because that's yes. So that's where I need to look.
Cool.
The quest begins.
Yes.
Yeah, I clicked on hard drives and I haven't seen it there. So
Cool. Well, Howard, if anyone wants to find out any more information about you, have you got anywhere people can go?
well, they can go to my Facebook page, which I haven't been to in like 2 years, but I plan on being there soon and posting something. My wife says I should pay more attention to that stuff. So I do have a Facebook page. It's Howard Drossin, composer. I do have a website, howarddrossin.com. I haven't updated that in a long time either, but I should. And people can contact me via that, but I don't know if that's like a ringing endorsement for anyone contacting me or going anywhere. But
Well, what I'm going to say is, all our listeners, if you're listening to this, go to Howard's Facebook page and leave him a message, and then when he goes on, he'll have like, ping, 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 ping.
You're going to crash his computer.
send me a message, post something, you. But I mean, I probably more recent stuff that's on there that was posted is probably movie stuff. You could hear some movie music that I've
Awesome.
done
Cool.
more recently, links to that kind of stuff if you're into that sort of thing. But
Definitely.
you know, that because that's most of what I've been doing lately. I haven't done any video games for a while.
Mhm.
And though there are links to listen to that music on those places as well.
Awesome.
So people can check stuff out there, and like I said, I'll get back to it at some point and put some new content up.
Cool.
I just am very particular about what I put on social media.
Yes.
Right. That's not a bad thing.
No.
Not at all.
And it's not like I have tons and tons of fans, looking at this stuff because I just haven't really been active. But, I really should. I really should do more of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure after this show, there's going to be a lot of people checking you out.
I hope so.
Yes. Well, you could also contact me through my wife. My wife actually has a very large internet Facebook site.
Oh.
She's a photographer, and she has tons and tons of fans, like 160,000 fans.
Wow.
Wow.
So yes, this is the person that's telling me that I should do something with my.
Yeah.
I think you should listen. I think she might be onto something.
She might be onto something.
Yeah.
I actually never even started my own Facebook account. It was her.
So you're being bullied into it, really.
Yes, but I'm just really shy in that way. So
Yeah.
That's fair enough. So,
Yeah.
right. Well, it has been an absolute
It
pleasure.
has been.
It really has. And I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
I hope I did well.
It
You
was
did.
awesome.
Definitely.
Absolutely brilliant. As I say, the time has gone so fast, and that's always
Has
testament to
flown
a
by.
good interview.
Yes.
It really is. So, don't forget, people, go to iTunes in April if you are in the US and leave a rating and review to enter the draw. So, for Howard, the very lovely Howard, for Hunter, for Darren, for Lee, and myself, Tracy, this has been the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast.
That's it for another Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a rating and a review. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Play, and all your podcast apps. Email us with any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or even better, record your message at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Check out our blog for even more content at uuopodcast.com. And finally, our sponsors, Fairy Godmother Travel, are here to help with all your Universal vacation needs. So check them out today at fairygodmothertravel.com. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.